What's up, guys? I am back with another review, 6oh3on2 review for you, for me, to just ride a motorcycle and tell you what I think about it. Today we are on Teddy R underscore, I think that's what it is. I'll look it up. I will pin his post because I'm sure he'll comment. And yeah, we're taking his bike out. I'm gonna do a quick review on it. I haven't told you what it is, but I can tell you it's been a giveaway bike and a build bike on YouTube now for like the past couple weeks. So probably even more than that, months. I'm not sure how long a couple people's little build things and build processes and giveaway stuff has gone on for, but we won't mention those names because I don't need you going over there. So we're gonna do a quick loop. It's got some turns. I can tell you what it feels like. Maybe a couple little straightaways, and we'll get this thing going. So this is Mikey Boy's Gsx8r. They make the Gsx8s. This is the fully faired version. Fully faired. It's got the full fairings, fully faired. I don't know if that's what that means, but as you can see, it does not have the auto shut-off blinkers, so you got to remember to do that. A lot of bikes are coming with that nowadays. This one didn't. It seems to be a pretty decent seller for Suzuki. You know, there's been a bunch of videos made on it, and it's a good bike. It's not my style anymore. I don't know, now having a naked bike coming back to a full fairing bike is just, it's not what I'm looking for. It's a lot easier to do stuff to mine, to pull bolts non-stop. But it is what it is. It's a parallel twin, so twin cylinder, 84 horsepower. I assume it's probably what, 789 cc, 798 cc, somewhere in there. They always do that. Why do companies do that? It's an 800. It's not really an 800. Just like my bike's not really a 1000. The position, I'm 6'2", about 230, 240 pounds. I haven't weighed myself in a while. Big boy. The bike feels comfortable. You're not in that position where like you're full leaned over sport bike. This is what they did as Suzuki, as the company. They came out with what we would consider sport touring, and this is, you know, their new sport touring. You can buy all kinds of accessories for it. Mike went ahead and bought a little USB down here so he could charge his phone, which is pretty sweet. Plugs right into like the little entertainment system here, not entertainment, your gauge cluster. And it was easy, plug and play, drill a hole, push that in, call it a day. Now you have a phone charger. So it's kind of set up better than how my stuff was set up. Uh-oh. Conservation officer. He got him. If you switch from a Honda, Kawasaki is the same setup, button setup as this. But if you switch from a Honda, your blinkers are on the bottom, your horn is in the middle. So it's confusing to ride this bike for me. I will get back into the seating position. It's good. It's a sport touring seating position. You're upright on the bars, not fully stretched out, not leaned over. It's a good spot to be. It's more comfortable in my eyes. You're not constantly looking up. Stock mirrors, bike looks good, everything looks good. I'll find a spot somewhere and pull over and give you kind of the look at it. But yeah, it's been a popular bike. It's got a ton of torque, so you still feel like you're on a sport bike on takeoff. And I mean, top end is top end, you're not going to go crazy. The quick shifter on this bike, it's not the smoothest, but it's also not the worst. From second gear, 5,000 RPM, 6,000 RPM up, you feel it, it kicks you. So I assume smoother operation is within its parameters, right? It's probably set at like a certain RPM to use the quick shifter. You can downshift all day long, let off throttle. It's nice to have. I use mine often. Quick shifter, it's there, it's usable. You definitely know when you're shifting gears. It's set up for more than likely a RPM parameter to use the quick shifter. I don't know what that is off the top of the head, but you're not going to break it out of parameters. You got to be on it, and that's just what it wants. Engine position on this bike feels like it's high, so your center of gravity is a lot higher. It wants to stay upright in fast speeds. When you go for turns, you can feel that the bike wants to kind of fight you to come back up. I'll show you the last bit of it. I don't know if you can see right there where my shadow is. There's a 3 for the TC, which is, I think the higher you go, the more traction you have, right? I think it goes to 1 off. And then B, and there's an ABC. So B is like middle of the pack standard, what you would consider standard riding modes, like on my bike. But if you go mode, you'll see that it gets highlighted. Traction control wise, we can go off, like I was saying, and then back on to 3. So off, 1, 2, 3, 3 being the highest traction control setting, off being off. Then we switch to SDMS. I have no idea what that stands for, but I can tell you what it does, and it just reduces power or allows full power. So we're in B right now. Press down, we have C, and you feel it. It reduces power. C being the last one, lowest power setting there is. B being intermediate. Come back down into the 40s. And then A being full power. So with that being said, my thoughts on beginner bikes have kind of changed drastically. What's happened over the years is all of these companies have now programmed in the fact that you can now detune your own bike with the touch of a button. Some aspects that's good, other aspects it's not so good. But could a beginner start on a bike like this? Yes. It is. It would be an awesome bike for a beginner because you can do what I just showed you can do. You can drop the power and you can ride it like a normal bike. The clutch is very forgiving. The power is there, so you have to be careful with that. But it's a lot less in C, mode C. lot of people out there right now saying that, oh, these bikes, you got to start on a small bike as a beginner, you got to do this as a beginner. And it's like the 400s, maybe the 500s. I've never ridden a 500, but definitely the 400s, the 300s, they're all becoming obsolete because of this factor where you can detune your own bike. You can press a button and it drops power and you're good to go. You learn on that, you get comfortable on it, you move up to the next power setting. You realize that it's actually a change and you ride it. You move up to the top power setting when you're the most comfortable with it, and even if you're not, you just drop power again. Go back to riding, figuring it all out. It's not as crazy as everybody's saying it is. Not just this bike specific either. It's every bike out there. 1000s may be a little different. I don't, like I've said, notice much power drain from changing the modes from sport to user to standard to rain. I don't notice too much, but there is a little bit there. Mostly I use all that for traction control. Like, we went off into the dirt and I made sure traction control was all the way on, so I clicked it into rain mode. It keeps your tire from spinning. That's all it did. User friendly. This is beginner, intermediate, expert. It's a comfortable bike. It's for anybody at this point. And you can take my opinion as nothing, or you can take it as everything, but I honestly say that this is a good bike. This is for everyone. It's comfortable. The position you're in, you're not going to kill your back, you're not going to kill your neck. I'll hop off and take a look at her. Blinker, neutral, kickstand. It's got a pretty wide kickstand too, which is nice. But it's a good looking bike. It really is. Mike knows I'm not a yellow guy, but it's a good looking bike. Things that suck: Suzuki did a full one-piece muffler, so there's no like removing a muffler to make it louder. You have to buy the whole system, headers, back. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. If I were to take off right now, traction control on 3, what is it gonna do? Kills power. So that's very good. You leave a little burnout, but nothing crazy. That's going to help a lot of people. This bike will get people riding, get people into the sport of it, and it's fun. You know, that's the whole point of having a motorcycle, something that you like. Mike's done a lot of like custom little things here and there to this bike. All in all, it's stock. We did the big whale tail removal because it's just ugly from factory. The thing sticks out with your license plate like another 1.5 feet from the back. He already bought the rear tire like fender cover so it doesn't kick dirt. So if you look at mine has that little like where my license plate sits, and I don't think it looks bad. Some people do, some people don't. I'm one of the people that I see the practical side of things with that. It keeps crap from flinging up onto your back. I don't want dust and dirt and all kinds of stuff flying all over my back or my black motorcycle. Saves me from some scratches. My blinker's been on for a while. That's one thing that you don't get used to. Once you have it, it's kind of nice. For a parallel twin, they did all kinds of work to make this a smooth engine. It sounds like a lawnmower right now. It's not the greatest sounding bike. With an exhaust, it sounds like a four-wheeler, and I've always loved the four-wheeler sounds. I grew up riding four-wheelers, so I like it. Mike likes it. That's all that matters. Nobody cares about other people's opinions. As long as you like what you're doing, go for it. And the thing with Mike is he's the same size as me, right? He hasn't been riding as long as I have. So his issue was finding something comfortable. And the fact that Mike has put on over 600 miles doing the job that he does, being gone all the time, means that he actually likes his bike. He actually likes riding it. He likes being out. We've gone on longer rides. He doesn't have any issues with like cramping up or anything like that. The biggest thing in the motorcycle world is find something you love to ride. And this is it. This is it for him. I'm sure there's other bikes out there that, could get him in that mood to ride, but this, in his eyes, was like a huge deal. Like, this was a big purchase. It's scary to kind of trade things in or buy new things without ever really getting a chance to use them. So going from one style bike to another, which was, he was on a CBR 600 and he was just super uncomfortable, and went to a Harley, and the weight of the Harley and the fact that it was a Harley, he was over it, and now he's into this. And this is the first time I've seen him like happy when he gets off a motorcycle. So if you like the design, if you like the bike, the style, everything about it, you can put bags on this, you can go on trips, you can do whatever you want with this bike. This is a real review. I would say go for it. He bought this from Naltz, so we're sticking with the Naltz brand. And yeah, that's it for my review. If you have any questions, you can push them towards me. You can go to Mike, you can ask him. I will tag him in the video. If you like this video, comment, subscribe, like it, dislike it, tell your friends, tell your family, and I will see you in the next one.